What's going on, my peoples of YouTube? The E Unit, the Enigma Nation. What's going on? It's your boy, the Heavyweight Chat, Maverick, the Enigma McLaurin. Back at y'all with a new video. This is gonna be a new type of video. I haven't done a reaction in years, but this will be my first reaction that I've ever done. You know, since around I think it was like 2016. I last did a reaction on this channel because I don't react a whole lot because a lot of reactors they don't have individuality. A lot of them just look at stuff and just re-upload content and don't even like do anything. You know what I'm saying? They just watch for your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But me, my reaction to certain videos are very, very different because I actually take an analytical approach to these kinds of videos. And what I'm here to do today is, you know, observe, assess, analyze, and more importantly, learn. Or use it as a teaching mechanism or use it as a roast mechanism, whichever one. Now, this video is posted by Nollagirl. I don't know what the heck was that. This video is posted by Nollagirl. And this is her tips for having a successful marriage. Now, we know in today's society, a marriage is very, very hard to sustain. But at the same time, you know, we have a lot of people getting married for the absolute wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? And that's how most marriages end up failing. You know what I mean? It's a two-edged sword, but we're going to see what she has to say. And let's dive right on in.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl back.
Hold on.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl back for another video. Hope everybody is doing well with all this COVID-19 mess going on. That's all that everybody's talking about. I decided to do a video on something different and kind of talk about something other than the obvious. And this is going to be a video about my personal marriage tips. These are my tips. I didn't write them down. This is coming from the heart. This video was requested by mostly my ladies out there.
And you know what? Shout out to your lady subscribers for requesting it because guess what? I believe that women should take relationship advice for women who are in relationships, and women who need marriage advice go to the women that are already married, because a lot of times they take advice from single friends, and most of that time that advice is generally bad advice. And if you understand female nature like I do, they are more susceptible to following terrible, terrible advice than to listen to somebody who has actual good advice. Because they've been programmed to do that by society, to make shit-ass decisions and pay for them later. But you have some women out there that don't fit that narrative. But let's continue.
There, wanting to know how my husband and I, you know, continue to have a strong marriage in this day and age, which is hard to do. And, you know, what's some things that I've done? What is my personal tips? Now, before I get into it, remember that my children are home because of COVID-19. New Orleans is in we just got out of lockdown and we're in phase 1 of the reopening, which is just as strict as the lockdown. And there's no summer camp, there's no activity, sports, nothing, and the kids are out of school. So, last thing, I now have an email, whatever reason it is, and y'all bear with me on answering those emails and making those requests. I will try to check that email when I think about marriage. I value marriage. My people know my story, but for those of you that are just stumbling on this video, I was raised by my dad's parents, and my brother, my only other sibling from my parents' union, was raised with our birth mother's side of the family. And on my dad's side, you know, my grandparents.
I bet you guys, her brother is more than likely blue-pilled. But who knows? She might have to tell more about her brother in one of these videos. Because if he was raised by her mama's side of the family, she more than likely is blue-pilled. Anywho, let us continue.
Parents raised me with the value of marriage. Everybody on that side of the family is married and has been for long, long periods of time, and they're happily married. You know, I didn't learn about the games that women play, you know, using men for money, using the children as pawns to get what they want out of men, marrying men for their assets, stealing their house.
And that is exactly what I meant by getting married for the wrong reasons. Because these days, marriage is a weapon. It is a business contract. You know what I'm saying? For most people, especially if you're living in the States, it is a business contract, a one-sided business contract where, everything you worked hard for gets interwoven. And in the event of a divorce, she automatically gets everything split down the middle. Save if you do a prenup, of course. But let us continue.
Stealing their wealth that they've occurred themselves. I could go on and on. I didn't learn about that stuff until I was older, and it wasn't from in my family. Women in my family don't do that. They take care of their husbands. They stay married, and they're in it for the long run, no matter what. I've never seen anything like that until I got older and I started seeing, co-workers, acquaintances, and, friends of friends. That's when I started to learn about the games that women play. So nowadays, marriage is not valued. Everybody's into not everybody, but what's pushed upon us is hooking up. You don't need two parents in a household. Women can do it all by themselves. They're independent, blah, blah, blah.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
If you want to follow that motto, you're going to end up alone and lonely. Like my grandmother used to say, you're going to end up a lonely old maid. Now, if that's what you're trying to get, you might as well just cut this video off. But if you want a strong, long-lasting marriage, keep going. Now,
good warning. Good warning.
The first thing that comes off the top of my head, my husband and I will be married 13 years, September 17th, but we've been together longer. And we've been together like 16 years. And one of the main things is when you get married, don't not cook and clean for your husband, okay? This is gonna ruffle some feathers, especially with the feminism stuff going on.
Yeah, because a lot of, let me pop open. A lot of what third wave feminism preaches is stuff against the traditional wife role of the household. And they view being a traditional wife as a form of slavery, when really submission was never a form of slavery. You know what I'm saying? It was women putting in their role, putting in their workload in the household. You know what I'm saying? While the man, made sure that they had the place to live. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? The man's nature, be the provider and the protector. Women, homemakers and children raisers. You know what I'm saying? We provide the place. She provides the space, okay? Little give and get. Because what feminism urges women to think is that they don't need to do anything to keep the house in order. They have a role they need to play. And that's the biggest problem with feminism this day. Because because feminists think that they don't have to put no work in to make a relationship work. They think everything should be just handed to them. Just because they solely exist. And that's facts. But we're going to keep watching. We're going to keep watching.
A lot of women are making these comments. I'll hear them say things like, I can't believe he wants me to cook or clean. He should be doing it. He should be helping. Or, I shouldn't have to pick up after him or wash his laundry. I'm not his mama. Fellas, if you have a woman that is making those type of comments to you, that is a woman that you don't want to be with. If she's making those kind of comments that she is not.
She sure couldn't satisfy me with that behavior. I mean, not like I don't know how to clean up after myself. But say I'm going to be late for work one day and I just leave some shit. It's supposed to stay there while she's there all day, not doing nothing about it.
Your mama, and she doesn't want to cook and clean for you. That's not a woman you want to be with. I'd run for your life. And ladies, if you're doing that, again, that is not going to lead to a long, happy marriage. When you get married, you should be proud to take care of your husband in that way. I have no problem cooking and cleaning for my husband. In fact, I would never expect.
If you read Ephesians 5:22 and 1 Corinthians, you know what I'm saying, you'll find a lot of things right with wives taking care and submitting to their husbands.
Him to do those things. Doesn't mean he can't help, but he doesn't do the main cooking and cleaning. I would never ask him to do those things. When he comes home,
you heard what she just said? Y'all heard what she just said? She said it doesn't mean he can't help. He can help. It's just you're the main one operating that behavior. The woman is the main one operating those behaviors. You can't just be a freeloader. But she didn't say the man couldn't help. In some cases, the men do help. If the wife needs a break, look, I got dinner tonight, all right? Give and get.
Always make sure there's a hot plate. Always make sure he do those things. Doesn't mean he can't help, but he doesn't do the main cooking and cleaning. I would never ask him to do those things. When he comes home, I always make sure there's a hot plate. Always make sure his laundry's washed. You know, that's the way I was raised. You know, the women in my family always took care of their husbands in that way. Whether they worked, whether they had the kids, no matter what, when the husband comes home, they always made sure he had a hot plate and his laundry was done and the house was clean. You know, it doesn't matter what they had going on. You should be proud to do those things. Now, like I said, feminism, liberalism is being pushed upon women, and women are being told not to do those things. That's belittling a woman. That a woman is, you know, better than that. That's hogwash. That's baloney. That's not true.
Yes, I do agree, because what feminism tries to promote is for women to be more masculine instead of feminine. But they don't know that their true strength lies in their feminine energy. When you're doing things like taking care of a husband, that's exerting feminine energy. And we like that. If you're trying to exert masculine energy by, you know, thinking you don't have to do anything and thinking that you need to compete with me, then you're not exerting positive female energy. And that's why a lot of masculine men don't want to mess with masculine women. And there's an abundance of masculine women versus feminine women. A real masculine man wants a feminine woman to exert feminine energy at all times, while they in turn want a man who is masculine exerting masculine energy at all times. This is why simps don't, you know what I'm saying, get long-lasting relationships unless they have, you know, provider shit going on. Because, you know, feminism also, you know, in an indirect, subtle way, you know, feminizes men. You know what I'm saying? Because simps are men who put themselves in a submissive position and think that they have to win over women, and really, they don't really realize themselves that they are the prize, because women need men more than men need women. And these are facts. And with more men checking out of marriage these days, I suggest a whole plethora wave of women, you know, saying that feminism lied. You know what I'm saying? Because there's already a couple of them out there that say that feminism lied to them. I expect a wave, you know what I'm saying, of some sort of societal reform based on the decisions made by the woman. Instead of trying to keep the husband out the home, spend your 20s looking for a husband. Let's continue.
Just because you're cooking and clean for your husband doesn't mean that you're being belittled, doesn't mean that you're enslaved, doesn't mean any of those things. Okay? That is just, in my belief system is you take care of your husband in that way. Doesn't matter if you're working, not working, doesn't matter. You take care of your husband. You should be proud to do those things for him. And he's going to love you for it. He's going to respect you for it. And there's things that he's going to do for you. You know, it's a team. Marriage is a team. It's a partnership. So.
Exactly. It's not freeloading. It is a partnership. Exactly. It is not freeloading. It is a partnership. And these days, it's not like a partnership anymore. It's more of a business contract. Let's continue. Goodness.
Another thing that comes to mind, ladies, again, this is mainly for you. You need to learn when to keep your mouth shut. Us women today, we're becoming too dominant, too masculine, and we want to wear the pants.
I just said that. I just spoke on that. Didn't I just speak on them exerting too much masculine energy? It does not work. If you're exerting too much masculine energy on a man, you know what I'm saying? Any masculine man, a feminine man will just, you know, devalue himself and just take it. But a masculine man, he wouldn't slide for that. He let you go. Dead ass.
That's not the way things, you know, that's not how human beings were created. You can blame women today, we're becoming too dominant, too masculine, and we want to wear the pants. That's not the way things, you know, that's not how human beings were created. You can blame men all you want, but that's not men's fault. You know, this is just the laws of nature. Man, woman, child. The man is the king of the castle. You know, but women need to learn when to keep their mouth shut. Stop being loud, disrespectful, know-it-all, sarcastic. Men don't like that. You know, I remember as a kid, remember the movie The Little Mermaid when Ariel went to Ursula and she was learning how to be a human being, how to be a woman and a human woman at that. And she sung that song that men don't like a lot of blabber. Well, it's the truth. They don't. Don't run your mouth and be loud, disrespectful, sarcastic. Learn when to sit back, be quiet. Let the man wear the pants. Let the man be the man, okay? He's got to be the king of the castle. And you be the queen. You have a role, but it's not being the king. That's not your role. The next thing that comes...
Need I reiterate, let the man be the leader of the household. Quit trying to compete, because we don't like that at all. We don't like that at all. Why waste your time with somebody who's trying to compete with you? Just gonna keep it a buck.
To mind is, this is for everyone. Never, ever talk bad about your spouse to your family and friends. You will forgive your spouse for things, but your family and friends won't. They will begin to form a negative opinion about your spouse. And to me, that is wrong to talk bad about your spouse to your family and friends. So girls, ladies, don't get on the phone, talk about, girl, guess what he done did now. Don't do that. That is disrespectful. If you have a problem with your spouse, you take that to your spouse. And don't take it to your spouse when there's an audience, when y'all children.
Right, because most times if they're arguing about their spouse to somebody, they're looking for some sort of validation for them being mad at them. You know what I'm saying? And in life, women crave validation. You know what I mean? Regardless from wherever they get it from. If they're not getting a certain kind of validation, they will, go out their way to try to pursue it. That's why I try to tell men, preserve their validation for a woman or give none whatsoever to her. You know what I'm saying? But furthermore than that, man, yeah, we don't like lip, especially if you're blabbing about what you're mad about me to other people. Quit blabbing about that. If you got an issue with me, I expect you to just talk to me directly instead of trying to make me assume nothing's wrong. Because I can pick up. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell them, look, my door's open. I lead a ball in day court. And if they don't say nothing, I will keep bringing it up in the conversation. If we ever get into a heated argument, I'm like, you're the one who ain't saying nothing when I asked you when something was wrong. So if I asked you if something's wrong or if I did something, you know what I'm saying, and you don't say nothing, what do you expect me to do? What do you expect me to do? Not pretend that everything's all right? Because you said everything's all right. But, you kind of expect it in the back of your head because you know not to trust her words, but to trust the actions. You feel me? And think of it this way, ladies and gentlemen. Think of it this way. We are good. Men are good at tuning you out if you are just completely yelling like a nonsensical nitty. You got to learn how to have an adult conversation with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to learn how to keep it at a moderate level where there's no shouting, no bickering, no fussing. I'll be like, look, I ain't trying to hear all that. Look, I ain't trying to hear all that yelling. I'm not trying to hear all that mouth. You know what I'm saying? Tone it down. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Whatever problem you have about me, let's come to a consensus. But I'm not here to listen to your blabber. And my camera just went out. Hold on. I'm going to keep playing the video. All right, we back, y'all. We back. Let's get it.
Children are listening, or when your friends are, that's wrong too. Take it to your spouse, act like an adult, and talk it out. Don't hold it in. That will cause you to form, grudges and resentments will build. Don't do that. Always talk about it. Bring it to your spouse at the right time, in private, just between the two of you. The next thing that comes to mind for...
Yeah, because y'all's business is y'all's business, not nobody else's. Nobody need to know what's going on inside y'all house. In fact, I won't even let them know if we smashing or not. That's how discreet I like to keep my personal life, peoples, especially on social media. But let's continue.
Me is, just like I said before, don't talk about your spouse to your family and friends, but don't talk about your spouse to your children together. I see a lot of women doing this today. Don't go to your sons and daughters and talk bad about their father to them. Your husband, the father of your children. If it makes anybody look stupid, it makes you look stupid, because this is the person you chose to lay down and make children with. So it makes you look stupid in the end when you're bad-mouthing this person that you chose to make children with to the children y'all created together.
To every action, there is a reaction. And every action has its consequence. Learn and understand this, my children. Learn and understand this. E-Unit, stand up. Y'all already understand this. Let's continue.
Children when I grew up, I never heard my grandparents ever talk bad about one another. That would have did some serious damage. That does damage to children, so never ever do that. Again, it goes back to what I just said. Take your problems you have with your spouse to your spouse, okay? Another thing that comes to mind, if you want to have a strong marriage, try to find someone that has like-minded interests as you. Find someone that has common goals and, similar belief systems, morals, and values. I mean, sometimes you can't help who you fall in love with, but you can help who you marry. And if you marry someone with different religious beliefs or different political beliefs, or his family hates you or her family hates you, that's going to cause friction. Especially when y'all have children together.
Exactly, because I think of it this way. I'm a God-fearing, anti-democratic man. Not conservative, not liberal, just anti-liberal. If I ever marry somebody who's deep into liberalism, man, it's not going to work. I'm never going to marry somebody who's anti-liberal. I mean, yeah, there's the strong case where opposites attract, but she's going to have to submit to my belief system some way, shape, or form. If she doesn't already have an idea of spirituality or a stance on politics, you know what I'm saying? Even though I don't value politics that high because, I don't vote or anything like that, but I just noticed some fuck shit going on in the news. But if I notice that, you know what I'm saying, she doesn't have an ounce of spirituality in her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could never date an atheist. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. If she doesn't have an ounce of willing to practice, the form of Christianity I practice, it's not gonna work. But in the other case, I mean, yeah, it's cool to have somebody as like-minded as you because you guys are gonna know how to figure everything out. But you got to be careful too because sometimes opposites, you know what I'm saying, are a bigger pair than those who have more similarities than differences, because part of being in a healthy relationship / marriage is to understand each other's differences. And, I personally, stand by that. If you're like-minded and quick to solve problems, which is good, but, there has to be some differences somewhere. Like, I'm an extreme extrovert. I'm not sure if I can marry another extrovert. I feel like I need to marry a woman who's more introverted. You feel me? Or hell, I can marry a woman who isn't much into video games, but I can bring her to a whole new, perspective on it. While she has a minimal perspective on it, I have a max perspective on it because I'm a game head. You know what I'm saying? And my camera went out on me again. All right, let's continue.
Y'all gonna be wanting to raise y'all children different. It's gonna cause problems. And it's hard enough. Marriage is hard enough. Why add more problems to it? Not saying you can't do it, but it is gonna cause friction later down the line. So my husband and I have similar political beliefs, religious beliefs. We raise our children. We have the same morals and values when it comes to family and things like that. So that has definitely helped.
To me, those are the only similarities that really matter. Everything else don't really matter. You could be different in everything else, but those areas, political beliefs and religious beliefs, yeah. I couldn't marry a deep leftist. Like, I'll marry a semi-leftist, meaning they agree with some things, but not all things. You know what I'm saying? That's a little bearable. If they're extreme left, I can't do that.
But I will say my marriage is not perfect. We have had bumps in the road, and we have been through a lot together, but good and bad. We have stuck it out together, and, I look forward to spending the rest of my life with him, and he the same.
And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. This is a problem for men and women alike. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not the end all be all once you get married, man. That shit takes work. It takes effort. You know what I'm saying? You can't just expect to relax once you got everything you wanted out of life, man. You got to keep reaching. You never plateau, especially in a marriage, man. Because it's hard work to maintain somebody's attraction towards you. Trust me. If you don't believe me, ask any other red pill content maker out there, like AMS. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue.
And I feel very lucky and fortunate to have the husband that I have. But I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I didn't want the video to get too long. I'm definitely missing stuff. But that is the most, important things that I just mentioned. Well, one last thing. This is an important one. Today, I see too many people getting on social media and contacting old boyfriends and old girlfriends.
Yes, bruh. Please say, Nollagirl, please say cut all of them off. Because a lot of they are notorious for this. A lot of gals are notorious for this. Because we got some of their old boyfriends might be either simps, beta male orbiters, or some old alpha chads that sexually imprinted her. You know what I'm saying? And then likewise also the guys, you know what I mean? Even though guys are more susceptible to just not even mess while they're in a committed relationship, to not even mess around, I still see it happen because they're not happy with whoever they chose. And, you know, that's why men cheat, you know what I'm saying? They're not happy with the person they chose because they didn't know, you know, that it was going to get too toxic for them, you know what I'm saying? And instead of just rather telling her, you know, that it ain't going to work, they leave a line open for a little while and then tell that girl that it ain't gonna work and then go to another chick that they wanted to mess around with, you know what I'm saying? Or heck, not even tell the girl at all, because some guys, they like having their ego tickled when they have more than one girl, you know, vying for their affections, you know what I'm saying? But we don't keep it rolling.
When they're married, that is going to get you in trouble. I mainly see women doing this. Again, not saying men don't do it. I've just seen, in my experience, women doing this. I've seen married women get on Facebook reaching out to old boyfriends that they've had a sexual relationship with, to be friends with them and to talk about their problems between their husband with their old boyfriends that they've had a past sexual relationship with. That is wrong. If you're trying to screw up your marriage, that's a wonderful way to do it. You know, if you want to be single and go talking to old boyfriends, and be single. You know, a lot of you are probably going to get offended at that and say, oh, no, look, girl, you can have same-sex friendships. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but there's got to be boundaries. You shouldn't be contacting old boyfriends unless y'all have children together, and there should be boundaries drawn with that. But just to contact them when you have no family ties and you had a sexual relationship with, and to talk badly about your husband, you know, that's wrong. And women are very emotional. Women like to talk about their problems. And that can definitely...
And that's why I try to tell the men, do not be an emotional tampon. Because all they want is non-sexual attention from men.
Lead to adultery. Talking to an old boyfriend about your problems with your husband, that's definitely going to lead into a bad place. Women in my family have never done things like that, and they all have long-lasting, strong marriages. So again, if you don't want to take my advice, that's fine. But, you know, if you want a long, healthy, you know, strong marriage, you're not going to get it by reaching out to old boyfriends on Facebook, you know.
Facts! Sorry about that.
That's a big mistake. And there's guys that do it too. I've heard about it, but I've never actually seen it. I've seen women do it. You know, y'all got to cut that out if you want to have a strong marriage. So ladies, be the lady in the relationship. You have a role, and it's not being the man. Don't go talking about your spouse to everybody. Always put your spouse first. Your spouse has to come first.
And think of it this way. A lot of relationships end because, you know, both people are accountable for doing something. Somebody does something to make the partner lose attraction, and the partner that has lost attraction will do something to ensure that the relationship is going to end. You know what I mean? It's a two-edged sword. Either the woman does something to make the man feel unattracted, and he'll feel like doing something in return to just, you know, break it off with her. If he doesn't go directly to her, he'll end up cheating, which happens only maybe 40% of the time. Then likewise also the women. If they lose attraction for a guy, you know what I'm saying, she more than likely will monkey branch to one of those guys that she might have on her social media and such. One of the guys from her past, man, like old boyfriends and such, man, they'll always be looking for the next branch. You know what I'm saying? So either the partner, one side of the relationship does something for the partner to lose attraction, and then, you know, the partner that did something to make the other partner lose attraction will try to make it work. And then 20 times out of 21, it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Oh, goodness. My camera. There we go.
Above everyone else. If you're religious, that's fine. If you want to put God first. Not everybody's religious. But always remember, your spouse has to come before everybody else. Not your mama, not your best friend, you know, not your girlfriend, your daddy. your spouse comes first. You know, your children you raise together will leave the nest eventually, and then you'll be left with your spouse. Always put your spouse first. Always take up for your spouse. Always take your spouse's side. You know, sometimes your spouse might be wrong, but when it comes to other people, always take your spouse's side. These are just some more tips that I just thought of. But I'm definitely missing some things, but that's my most important. Comment below. How long have you been married?
Yeah, you should have wrote those down, sister. You should have wrote those down. But, you know, overall, I agree with this woman. You know what I'm saying? I agree with Nola Girl. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that she suggested, like, you know, being submissive to your husband, listening to him, not being too mouthy, not talking bad about their spouse to other people, and, you know what I'm saying, because this is really none of their business. Not talking bad about their spouse to the children. That's really damaging. And, you know, not being in contact with old love interests from the past, man. That is essential, because cheating is way too glorified in these days. But anywho, I'm about to end this reaction here because she's about to end hers. You know what I'm saying? If you guys enjoyed this reaction, man, if y'all want me to do more, man, go ahead and leave a like and a comment down below. Till then, it's your boy, the Heavyweight Champ, and I'm out this thing, y'all. Peace.